It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, how can they say that Hillary or Bernie can beat Trump or Cruz after watching that Democratic freebie debate? How can they say that Hillary or Bernie can beat Trump or Cruz after watching that Democratic freebie debate? Wow. Yes, it was a freebie sling fest. But here's my response to the tweet. Because they know the power of free. They raised people to understand and participate in the power of free. But they're going to win because we don't know how to communicate the power of freedom. We're not creative enough to communicate the power of freedom. And they raised a large, probably half, if not a little bit more than half. As a matter of fact, if it's not half, they've raised a 40% clip of America to understand the power of free. And then there's a larger proportion of America, not larger, but another nice chunk of Americans that's sympathetic to the people that they raised. So let's go here. I'm going to use a slavery analogy because this is what I think freed enslaves. I used to be there. The power of free. See, when you're a slave, you're in a close quarter. They call it a slave quarter, right? It's a house. That's where they lived. And then the next large place where they resided at was the plantation, where they did their work. So they slept in a slave quarter and they were enslaved on the land. Then what happened, the power of free. What happened was somebody came and freed them from their slave quarter and freed them from their slave plantation. So on the plantation, they were confined. Then they were released from where they were confined. Now they get to walk and they get to go a little further. They're scared a little bit. Why? Because the people that freed them was the same color as the people who enslaved them. So they were hesitant naturally. And so they stuck the little toe out there and they looked back and see if it was safe. And we said, no, you're free. Run, go. Experience America. Experience something that you never experienced before. Being free. So they're hesitant and they walk 5 feet, look back and see if somebody's going to yell at them and whoop them or something. Then they walk another 20 miles and they got free. They're experiencing freedom. But now the people that enslaved them didn't like that. So they're trying to figure out a way to get them back under the control of man. Because now they're experiencing freedom. And so now it comes in the power of free. See, because when they experienced their freedom, they still knew how to have a work ethic and everything like this. And then they started achieving things. But it was kind of hard for them. Why? Because the people that enslaved them, they got released into a whole new world. It's like Jurassic Park. They got released into a whole new world. And so what happened is the people that had them as slaves started saying, don't you want these things? And the people say, yeah, we want these things, man. And it go like this. They turn their wants into needs. No, you need these things. You need these things. And so while they're out there in this world, the people that enslaved them took their wants, turned them into needs, and then started supplying their needs. So now that they're experiencing freedom, the power of free kicked in. See, right now, if you were sitting down at your desk and somebody walked by and said, hey man, they're giving away free pizza, that word free will attract you. And then you'll start following the people that said free pizza. You'll start following them. And then when you get to the thing, you'll ask the question, where did the pizza come from? Why? Why will you ask that question? Free got you up out of your seat and got you to follow them. But when you got there, common sense got you asking questions. Where did the pizza come from? Who made it? This and that. Did they wash their hands? All those kind of things, right? But they don't need you to ask all those questions. Remember slavery? Slavery, we didn't get to ask a lot of questions. But free got you going. Now you're asking a bunch of questions. They don't need you to ask a bunch of questions. They want you to eat the pizza. They want you to eat what they're giving you. So how do they get you to eat what they're giving you without you asking a bunch of questions? They get you starving. See, because if you were starving and you heard the word free, you're going to follow them. And then when you get there, you're going to get the pieces of pizza. You're just going to start gobbling it down because you're starving. You're not going to ask questions. You'll ask questions with a mouthful. Where did you get the pizza from? You're already eating it now. You're already eating this stuff. It can be poison. It can be anything. See, this is what they did, is they got the people starving. First they took their wants. Let's use the TV. Yeah, man, I would love to have that TV. Then they said, no, you need to have that TV. Well, I don't have a job to get that TV. But you need to have it. You got a job, but you can't afford to get that TV. Why? Because those rich people over there are dogging you out. But if you elect me, I will go make those rich people give you a TV. So now, as you were working for what you wanted, and then you heard that word free, and then you ran towards it, and when people started asking questions, they shut you up and said, just get me, I will make all your needs come true. And then you elect them, and they go take from the thing, but now here's the catch. Now that you have this free TV, now you're confined to their rules. What if the TV breaks down? You don't have enough money to fix the TV. So now you need it repaired. And they say, if your TV breaks down, those rich people that has more than enough, you elect me, will make them fix your TV. Because it's a need. And then so you keep electing them. But guess what? You're back onto a plantation again. Because now you're back to doing what they tell you to do for your stuff. Food, same way. And then if they get you starving for it, using creativity to make you starve for the TV and the food, you'll eat it up with no questions. Not knowing that it's poisoned you and all kinds of things. People ain't washed their hands, all kinds of germs. You're infected now. Because they get you starving for it. And that's where they use creativity. Make you think everybody else has it and you're being left out. But you can't afford it, but that's okay. Elect me and we'll go make the rich guy do it. Now here's the catch. Because we're not creative, we don't know how to communicate the power of freedom. Because we are not creative, we keep listening and we want freedom to be promoted through Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and these kind of guys. You're not understanding that the freebie people have trained them to look at the people that we're trying to promote freedom through as the boogeyman. They're the problem. There's new people. We need new faces, new creative ways to promote freedom. See, Rush Limbaugh can't even get close to the plantation because they trained them to think of Rush Limbaugh as the plantation. See, Sean Hannity, Herman Cain, all these people, even black conservatives, minority conservatives, can't even get to the plantation. They're too popular. They're too known. And so we keep giving our money to these known candidates and people like this to go share freedom to a bunch of people that was trained on the power of free. And so they don't hear the power of freedom. So what I'm trying to bring to the dynamic is that there is multiple voices that they use, unknown people, blogs and stuff like this, to promote freebies. But then what are you doing to support the ones that's new that they don't know so that we go promote freedom? What kind of creative ways? So here we are, watching the Democratic debate, and all they're doing is implementing the power of free. And since we don't know how to communicate the power of freedom, and you're counting on Ted Cruz and Donald Trump and stuff to do these things, the polls come out, and if you want to believe them or not, you're not understanding, and you're going to underestimate again the power of freedom. I mean, the power of free. You're going to underestimate it, and we're going to have our hats handed to us again. Hey, I'm going to break this down even more, but that's my response to a tweet on the Phil Williams Show.